Hello and welcome to day 2 of our video series about what to do and get started in Merch by Amazon. This is all about getting you out of the 10 tier into the 500 tier and actually making some money. So this video is going to be all about the 10 tier, what the overall strategy should be for you, actually a couple of different strategies, what your overall strategy should be going from the 10 tier to the 500 tier, why we think you should use this particular strategy, and why we think really until you get to the 500 tier, you shouldn't worry a whole lot about profit. So starting off, because I want to keep this thing fairly short and simple, and I want to show you some research. 10 tier, your overall strategy should be, quite frankly, price low, do not care about profits. Why do we say that? Because you only have 10 shirts you can sell. It's going to be really hard to have those 10 shirts make you a whole lot of money. And quite frankly, it's a numbers game on Amazon. So the more shirts you have up, the more designs you can sell, the more money you can make. If you have 10,000 shirts up and each shirt sells once during the month, so you sell 10,000 shirts, an average royalty of $4 a shirt, that's $40,000. It's a lot of money. Doesn't really work that way. It's really hard to get all of your shirts to sell in a month, but it gives you the idea what you're looking for. So at the 10 tier, your overall strategy, quite frankly, is just price low and don't care about profits. Okay? If you can, and this goes back to Kristen Harris, our friend, who's all about that thug life, like buy your way out. Okay? Buy 10 shirts, go into the 25 tier. If you can, buy 25 shirts, go into the 100 tier. The quicker that you get out of these tiers and get to the point where you can upload a lot more designs, the quicker you're going to be able to make some money. And it's like any business. It's a tax write-off. If you're buying that stuff, it's a write-off for you at the end of the year. If you're serious about it and you can't make that money in taxable income, quite frankly, like you're failing at Merch by Amazon. In less than 6 months last year, we made just around $23,500, and quite frankly, we should have made more. We got a little bit lazy towards the end of the year, got a little bit complacent, and it cost us a lot of money when we went into the fourth quarter. This is a fantastic opportunity. If you're serious about it and you really mean business and you want to make the most amount of money possible as quickly as possible, and you have a little money to invest in your business, buy yourself out. It's the quickest way. Alternative strategies for getting out as quickly as possible. You can design shirts for small businesses and organizations. So Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, local soccer teams, basketball teams, football teams, whatever. Go to them, tell them you have the ability to create them shirts with their logos, any artwork, whatever they want on it. You can price them at the absolute minimum price on Amazon, so it's a very reasonable price. It'd be $12.87 is the absolute minimum you can go. And then they don't have to worry about carrying inventory. They can order exactly what they want. And even more importantly, if, for example, the shirt doesn't fit properly, whoever orders the shirt can just return it directly to Amazon. They don't have to worry about returns or carrying overstock or any of that stuff. Or, for example, you could design shirts for your friends and family. Have a family reunion come up, design shirts for that. Have everybody buy a shirt. Real quick, easy way to get yourself out. If none of that works, you live out of the country and you don't have the ability to do that because you can't ship merch shirts outside the US, what you can do is you can do trending shirts. Okay? What trending shirts are, or trending niches, would be stuff like Valentine's Day, Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day. The reason we want to concentrate on those is there's a time element. Obviously, Valentine's Day is February 14th. Mardi Gras is also in February, I believe, and St. Patrick's Day is in March. So people are going to be buying those shirts well before then to make sure that they have them. Because there's that time element, it's more likely that those shirts are going to sell. So unlike, say, a camping shirt, which might sell year-round, it's probably not going to sell 20 copies in a month, these shirts are going to sell multiple copies. You're going to sell a lot of them. So personally right now, what I would be designing for would be St. Patrick's Day. I think if you just got onto the platform right now, you can try throwing up some Valentine's Day shirts and some Mardi Gras shirts, but you're closing in really quickly on the window where it's going to be hard to get your shirt to rank to be able to sell unless your shirt is just an absolute home run and it really takes off. So personally, I would be starting with St. Patrick's Day right now. That's where I would be designing for. And luckily for you, St. Patrick's Day is a ridiculous day in terms of shirts. Like, there are so many shirts that get sold for St. Patrick's Day because it's a big holiday, especially with younger people going out, partying, drinking, everything else. Everybody has to wear green on the holiday. Last year, Amazon actually ran out of all of their green shirts. So it gives you an idea of how many shirts you have to sell to have Amazon run out of green shirts. So that little ding you heard in the background was me selling a shirt right now. So what we are going to do is I'm going to go over a couple of different websites and tools that will allow you to do research to be able to find ideas for other shirts that maybe you can make better or improve on when you're trying to come up with ideas for your shirts. So we're going to go to a website that's called merchresearch.com. Okay, and there's several different tools that you can use. I'm going to show you a paid tool at the end that I actually use for most of our research now. However, this one right now, if you're in the 10 tier and you don't have a bunch of money to be able to spend, I wanted to show you a free option that would allow you to do the same kind of research. It just takes a little bit longer. So let's start with Valentine's Day because it's ranking right now, actually. So merchresearch.com. The other thing I was going to tell you, if you're just starting out, these categories here from the blog for Merch Informer, these are really, really, really good. If you are in the 10 tier, take the time, go through, and you should literally read every one of these articles. They're fantastic. They get really, really in-depth with a lot of the things that I'm talking about, and it may give you a little bit of additional background in terms of SEO, marketing, best practices for merch, all of those things. Read these. They're worth their weight in gold, and they're free. Okay? So, merchresearch.com, what this does is it separates out all the listings on Amazon other than merch listings. So you only want to be comparing your shirts and doing your research against other merch shirts. They actually have a built-in advantage over other shirts that are sold on the platform because Amazon is the seller. So merch shirts get shown more often than other shirts that are out there. So we just want to be comparing against those. So we're going to search for Valentine's shirts for women. What it does is it takes you to Amazon and it shows you all of the merch, so shirts that are made by other merch sellers that are merch shirts for women, okay? If you look, you can see a lot of information on this page, and I'm sure you guys have been on Amazon before. What you're seeing here is actually from a plugin. It's called DS Quick View. I'll have information on all of the plugins in the links below. What it allows you to do is it allows you to quickly see a lot of information on the screen. So ASIN, that's the actual number for the shirt. That's how Amazon finds this shirt in its system. This number right here is BSR. This is what we're concerned with right now. Okay? BSR stands for bestseller rank. So the lower the bestseller rank, the closer it is to 1, the better the shirt is. So for example, this shirt that is at 33,507 BSR is selling a lot more copies than this shirt here that is at 186,000. However, they're both good shirts, okay? And what this means to you guys and why you should pay attention to this is this allows you to kind of get an idea of what the market is doing and what people are interested in with the market. So you can see all of these shirts that are selling right now that have a good BSR, and by good BSR, I mean something that is below 300,000 BSR. That's a good BSR. That's a shirt that's doing really, really well. Those should be the shirts that you're paying attention to. Now, one of the ways that you can create designs that are going to sell on Amazon, and you know that they're going to sell on Amazon, is you can take a design that was a poor design from another merch seller and improve on it. So better graphics, better fonts, maybe you pay for a premium font, better layout, better listings. A lot of times people's listings are really poor. Improve on it, list it, compete against that other shirt, and quite often you can take a portion of their market. So it's a way for you to not just blindly throw darts in the dark. You can figure out what shirts you should be designing for. So one of the tools that you can use to very quickly get all this information without having to sort through every single page is a tool called Unicorn Smasher. And what it is a plugin for Google Chrome, just like DS Quick View. We'll hit this button here. We have to wait for it to load a second. It takes a little bit. Waiting. It's almost done. Once this thing stops counting up, it'll be done. Okay, so. Jesus, it's slow today. All right, so we can see the top ranked shirt here on this page is something that's at 22K BSR, okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to look at these top 6 shirts. And what I would do in your case, quite frankly, is all of the shirts that are below 300K BSR, I would go through and I would look and I would see if I could create a better design than what they have out there. Okay, so this is our first one. This is the one that's at 22K BSR overall. And like, I don't want to sound arrogant, but quite frankly, like, I know that I can create a better design, better layout than this 100%. This is a super basic shirt. Quite frankly, it doesn't say a whole lot about Valentine's to me. It is selling well, so obviously there's a market for this particular saying, this style of shirt. It looks like a pirate shirt with a heart, basically. But I know that, you know, we could put a much cuter font here than this, much better font than this. I would add some color to the shirt so it's not just basic black and white. Maybe we would distress it, make it a little bit weathered, because that's really, really hot right now. Basically, almost every shirt that we do a version of it that's just normal. We also do a version of it that is distressed, so a version that looks like it's worn. If you are not a designer, you don't know how to use Photoshop, and you're using free tools like Make Merch or some of these other programs, there actually is a program called Merchinator. The Jersey Empire Group created it, that'll allow you to add distress automatically to your shirts. I'll also include a link to that in the notes below. So there's going to be a lot of tools and a lot of names that I'm throwing out. We're going to get really nuts and bolts in some of the future videos where I show you like how to do listings, how to do designs, what good designs look like. However, I'm trying to throw as much information as I can, and hopefully it'll sink in so more of it will make sense as time goes on. So again, but I think it's understandable, right? Like, this is a pretty basic design. It's selling pretty well. If you look at it, their bullet points, you can see why, who they're selling the shirt to. Great gift for men and boys. Pirate with eye patch, mustache, bones, tie. Okay? So obviously this is a Valentine's shirt for men and boys. Most likely boys. That looks like a youth. Just pro tip right here, when you click on a listing and it defaults to either men, women, or youth, it tells you what the most popular version of that shirt is. Amazon automatically shows whatever the most popular, most best-selling version of that shirt to you automatically, because they're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to buy. So if you see that it's defaulted to youth here and it's defaulted to youth and black, that's the most popular version of this shirt. So it's a kid's shirt that's black. It'll make more sense as I click through some of these other links. All right, so here's our next one. This one is at 33K BSR, and just give you guys an idea, and this is a little bit of an estimate, but it's probably fairly accurate. This shirt right here at 33K BSR is probably selling between, I would say, 7 to 10 shirts a day, maybe even more. It's selling a lot of shirts. So this one is a Happy Valentine's Day, and it's in the shape of a heart. I think it's a cool design. I think that there's definitely better fonts that are a little bit more legible and easier to read, but it is a cool design. I don't know if this is going to be the easiest one for a beginner to come up with a better version of this shirt necessarily, and this is part of the research process too. Sometimes you got to look at something and go, okay, that's a really cool, really original design. I don't know if anything I do is going to be something that's better. Maybe, but I don't. This would be one that, you know, I would just go ahead and move on, or if I was going to design something like this, right, I would have some other elements in it. So this is entirely a text design. Maybe what I would do is have a text design that's a heart, but I would also have like Cupid's arrow going through it, something like that. Okay? The ideas are endless. As you get used to doing this, you literally can come up with a bunch of different variations, a bunch of different ideas for how you can improve on these things, and know that there is a market out there for this already. These guys are doing your market research for you. You know this shirt is selling, so you know that something that is similar to it, as an improvement on it, will probably sell also. This one, again, this is another Valentine's shirt. It's probably directed mostly at boys and men. It is 2 video game controllers that are making a heart. Again, this is pretty basic. Like, I think that you could totally come up with something very similar. Maybe do a heart that's reminiscent of like the old Nintendo hearts and Zelda. You know, you can come up with ways to improve on these things that will allow you to come up with a better version of it. Or take this strictly as an idea and realize, kids and video games go hand in hand. So how can you make a video game shirt that appeals to kids? Like, how can you make a Valentine's video game shirt? There are a lot of different ways to attack this. So this is one I was actually looking at earlier. So another tip, if you're going to design your shirts, okay, realize people expect their shirt to look how it looks on the screen. So on the screen, this looks like it's like glittery and sparkly. People are probably going to expect this to be gold and glittery, okay? That's a bad idea because Amazon doesn't do this. They're printing this with ink, so there's no way to make it like shine and sparkle. So if we look at the review right here, I was expecting the applique to actually be glitter applique. It's not. In real life, it looks nothing like glitter. It's more like marbled gold. There's absolutely no sparkle. That's a problem. You don't want that to happen with your shirt, okay? However, you can tell that like this shirt is selling very well. I believe it's at like 50K BSR, 44K BSR. So if you're in a listing and you're curious what the BSR is, you go down to the bottom of the product description. You can see when the shirt was listed. So this was listed the 17th of November 2017, and what the BSR is right there, okay? Again, this is super basic. You can totally do better than this. Even just to the point of doing a cuter heart, having maybe like a Cupid graphic, having an arrow, having something that says love, you can do better. That's where the bar is, okay? That's what you're looking on to improve on. I'm showing you this shirt here. This one's also selling very well. It's a very cute shirt. I like it a lot. However, what you can do if you want to improve on this shirt, like instead of doing pandas, why don't you do something else that is really cute right now, like sloths or llamas, or somebody mentioned camels the other day, which I haven't really seen, but apparently camels are a thing with boys now too. Or dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are really, really hot with boys. Like, you can take this particular idea and you can spin it into a bunch of different ideas. You know that animals with hearts are selling I love you cute panda Valentine's Day t-shirt, right? I love you dinosaur cute Valentine's Day t-shirt. Kind of think I'm getting the point across. I hope I am. If you have questions, please leave them. It is, when you're starting out, quite frankly, the easiest way to figure out what to make is see what the market is making and figure out a way to put your own spin on it or improve it. Works every single time. So, what I am going to finish with is a quick little overview on Merch Informer. What this is actually a paid tool. It costs $20 a month. If you click on the link that I have down below, there's a coupon code in it. It'll get you 20% off of it. I don't know if at the 10 tier this is necessary. However, what it will do is it will definitely allow you to do what I was doing right there much easier, because all of these tools are already built into it, along with, for example, a keyword finder to help you find better keywords for your listing, a listing optimizer. So what you do is you put your listing in there. It'll actually give you a grade and give you improvements that you can use. Trademark alerts, so the ability to search for trademarks directly within the platform. And this is, to me, the best tool on it. It's something that's called Merch Hunter. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to actually sort and search directly by BSR. So if we're looking for the top 100,000 BSR shirts on Amazon, we can do it directly from here for Valentine's or whatever the niche is, and we'll pull up just those shirts. Valentine's is a little bit of a different thing because, unfortunately, a lot of sellers, what they'll do when they're spamming their listings is in every single listing they do, they'll list the holidays that are like major buying holidays. Valentine's, Christmas, Easter. So when you do Valentine's, sometimes it'll pull other things up. But this tool is fantastic if, for example, you're doing searches for like, St. Patrick's Day, or if you're doing more detailed searches like, dogs and other evergreen shirts. Like I said, it's probably not necessary for you at the 10 tier. However, it only costs $20 a month, and at $20 a month, I think it's a bargain. And once you get out of the 10 tier, it becomes invaluable. It's a really, really useful tool. I'm not going to really get deep into how to use it. We'll do that in another video where I can show you all of the different tips, tricks, everything else. But I did want to give you an idea that it's out there so you can investigate it a little bit. Merch Research, the website we were at the beginning, this is essentially the free version of that tool. as soon as you can afford it, I would sign up for Merch Informer. I would start using the tool and understanding all the different things. Like I said, I will do a more detailed video on how to use Merch Informer and how I use it to be able to figure out and pinpoint exactly what shirts that I want to be able to go after. But I did want to give you guys an idea about it. So, quick overview. Back to strategy, okay? We want to price low. Why do we price low? Because there are buyers out there that literally only care about buying stuff cheap. That's what Amazon's about. It's about, convenience and cheapness. So we don't want to leave our house to buy something. I also don't want to spend a bunch of money. So do not care about profit, okay? We don't care about profit at the beginning here because we want to get out of these tiers and go to the 500 tier as quickly as possible. Be able to upload 10 shirts a day, have 500 slots. It makes a massive difference. You'll be able to actually do some experimentation, test some things out, put some evergreen shirts up. So your goal at the very beginning, like this is like Mission Impossible, like your mission, escape the lower tiers as quickly as possible, okay? Again, if you can, buy your way out, at least at the 10 tier. Price everything at the minimum. If you were to buy yourself out of the 10 tier, it's going to cost you $122 or something like that. Actually, $144. A little bit over 100, basically $150 to get yourself out of the 10 tier. It's worth it. Just having those 25 slots, being able to upload 2 shirts a day makes a difference. If not, alternative strategies, design shirts for small business and organizations, design shirts for friends and family, or if you're going to do it all organic, you can do trending shirts like Valentine's, Mardi Gras, or St. Patrick's Day. I hope this gave you guys an idea in terms of what you should be looking for in the 10 tier overall for your strategy. I hope that it answers some of your questions in terms of how to figure out what you should be designing, especially for like trending niches. And it gives you a couple ideas on some tools you can use. I'm going to have a long list of tools, tricks, everything else. I'm just going to have the stuff that I used in this particular video in here. But over the next couple of videos, I'm going to show you a bunch of other plugins that'll actually improve your ability to write listings. It'll help you with your research. It'll help you just basically streamline your process. You're not having to go back and forth between screens. If you have any other questions, if you're looking for suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Like I said, please hit that subscribe button so you can see the other videos that are coming out. My next video, I think what I will do is I will do a listing for a St. Patrick's Day shirt to show you guys exactly how I do my listings, how I do the setup on keywords, what I think best practices are, and how you should be writing your listings so they actually help you to sell the listings. So they're not just keyword stuffed, a bunch of random words, everything else. Again, if you have any questions, please leave them behind down below, and like and thumbs up the video for me. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I hope this helped you guys out, and I will see you guys tomorrow.